I think there's way more of a stigma around all of that than there should be. Again, they're two adults who are consenting.
It's like you got to pick if you want to give a lot or little credit to a woman. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes you build women up to be like, you can fucking conquer the world and do anything. And sometimes it's like, you don't know any better.
Oh, you're too young to know what I'm...
So which one is it?
Mike's dancing and he's never ready. And he's got incense dustings all over the table.
I'm really not good at catching it, to be honest.
For putting something on the table, and it was leaving a ring on the table.
You had a ring,
and his
next to a coaster. The ring was happening next to the coaster.
Can you see this? No, you can't. Oh, you might be able to see it in the wide shot. There's a coaster here.
I would never do something like that.
And the water bottles here. Well, I'm just saying, welcome to our podcast, guys. Welcome to the podcast. These? I have one. Thank you so much. Why don't you use it?
There's nowhere to put it.
Don't put it in the dustings. You guys, thank you so much for listening.
Welcome to another episode of Welcome to Our Podcast. Let me tell you a couple things that are true on God right off the bat.
On God.
First of all, I'm happy to sit down. I'm happy seating. I'm happy to sit down. I'm happening to sit down with you. I can't wait to look you in your eyes at some point and have just a genuine, nice conversation, because I've been missing you a lot and we have very opposite schedules.
Yes.
And we're too busy. And I think, and I came to this conclusion 4 days ago, mentally and physically burnt out since July.
Yeah.
But now that we know that, we could start to right the ship, and it starts today with this conversation. I really like doing this with you, and I'm very happy that we get to do this today.
Same.
I got a very nice compliment about you and us from a comedian that I really like last night.
That's nice. What did they say? I was asleep by the time you got home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And thank you for waiting up and being nervous about my just being excited that I would be back around. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Feels good.
It feels great.
What were we talking about? Oh, he was talking about I don't know which clip from last week he saw, but he was like, that's a really genuine, nice interaction between you and your wife, and you guys have a lot of those, and I really like watching your clips because of that. Aww. And I think that is true, because we've been doing it for so long that we don't have a I call it a happy bow bow voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey guys, happy bow bow. Like that. We don't have that. And it doesn't mean that we're interesting all the time, but we are ourselves all the time.
Sure.
Which is nice.
Yeah, because that's the only way to be.
It's the only way to be. You look like a sexy Albanian pineapple right now.
Thank you.
Anyway, so one thing that Elena has been doing, who is, for all intents and purposes, the lifeblood of this podcast.
The only person that actually matters of this podcast.
Not to put too much pressure on her, or Jonch, by the way. But she's been sending us things that might be interesting for us to talk about via Reddit.
Yeah.
And she was like, it might be interesting to hear you two specifically talk about these things.
Yeah.
And we know from market research that when we say things like East Coast is like this, West Coast is like this, people are going to see it.
Yeah, maybe.
What a bummer that is the one.
I know. Someone else's shit.
We should just take it down.
Well, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Something happened and we'll keep it up. Whatever. Yes. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Josh.
Yes.
Without you guys, I definitely wouldn't do it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, Leah's been sending us Reddit questions that seem to be a little bit more interesting than what we talk about normally.
Because what we talk about has proven to be not interesting.
I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily
And that's
true.
on God.
I just think that if Steve keeps touching this with his beard, I'm going to kill him.
You know he's going to do it.
Yeah.
It's part of the way he moves.
Yes.
We can get you a whole new microphone. We can get you one of those Bobby microphones that she holds like this. Or you could talk into this one.
There's not enough room for me to hold this phone.
I can't. I hate it. I don't think it's going to be
The one that...
So good or no? You don't like it?
No, that one's for you.
You wouldn't last a second on Dynamic Banter podcast.
No, you're absolutely right.
Sometimes you last a second in the corner of the room.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's nice to
Hey
see
guys,
ya.
leaving. Bye.
Yeah.
Or
But-
hey Zoya, and then it's one word answers, and I'm out.
You always
Done.
look so pretty when you're on your way to work.
Thank you.
I hate it when you go, but I love to watch you leave.
All right, you ready for this?
Because of your butt. Thank you. What?
Your butt. A 20-year-old female
Thank you.
has taken interest in me. 33-year-old male. What do I do?
Why can't I hear you, dog?
I don't know. I can hear myself.
Why don't you speak up?
I am speaking up. Rude.
Hey, Zoe.
You always tell me to be quiet, and now you want me to talk loud? Now? How's that?
When
How
do
does
I
that
ever
work?
tell you to be quiet?
Never.
I haven't told you to be quiet in a long time. I did learn how to tell you to be quiet in Albanian for sensitive situations.
No, you told me how to just shut up in Albanian.
Well, it's the intention.
Of being rude? Works. Basically, it's been 9 years since I've seriously dated or had a relationship, and I'm starting to get to the point where I want to get back out and date or maybe sleep around for a bit and see what I like.
Whoa, hell yeah.
I'm starting to get boring. I'm starting to get boring and enjoy staying in and getting into my comfy cozies and watch TV or a movie until I fall asleep. I'm getting urges to want to go on shopping trips or some home improvement activities. Yesterday I went by an orchard and saw pumpkins growing and thought, damn, I'd love to go pumpkin picking.
Damn, if I could only spend a day as a pumpkin.
I don't even know if I have anything in common with this girl, but she's been lingering and seeking me out after class. She's very attractive, but the social stigma of an older man manipulating or taking advantage of a younger woman doesn't sit well with me. I don't want to be perceived that way either. The last thing I want to do is make any women feel unwelcome or uncomfortable. But it's been so long since a woman that I was attracted to shows any interest in me and it feels nice to have someone be interested.
What's the age difference?
20-year-old female, 33-year-old male.
33 is not that old. Dog. There's more.
Feels nice to have someone be interested. I feel good about myself. Do I let time do its thing and just slowly push her away or not talk to her? Or do I just see where things go between two consenting adults?
Dude, this guy definitely knows what he wants to do, but wants other people's approval, wants other people's cosign on it.
Yeah, I think there's especially as of late, I think there's way more of a stigma around all of that than there should be. You know, again, they're two adults who are consenting You know, my best friend married somebody, a man that's older than she is.
And we all think it's gross.
No, we don't.
I mean, we don't.
Love him.
Yes.
And he's 15 years older than she is. Or older than she is.
No, I was just saying that to piss you off. It's beautiful.
But,
they have a great relationship.
Yeah, it's amazing. And sometimes I think that because there's such a huge stigma around all of that, there's always, you know, someone's always going to have fucking something to say, right? Mm-hmm. It's how you allow it to affect your day to day.
Yeah.
Let them fucking think whatever they want. As long as you know that she's cool with it and you're cool with it, then fucking be together.
You know, sometimes I'm like, we don't give a lot of, it's like you got to pick if you want to give a lot or little credit to a woman. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes you build women up to be like, you can fucking conquer the world and do anything. And sometimes it's like, you don't know any better.
Oh, you're too young to know what I'm.
So which one is it? You know?
Dude, just let everyone fucking live. Stop having an opinion on other people's shit.
20 years old, you can go die in a war, but you can't fuck a 33-year-old.
But you
fuck at it.
But you also cannot buy an alcoholic beverage.
And you also,
but you can die for your country.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Also, can't rent a car.
Also, can't have an abortion.
Both of them can't rent a car. Interesting. No one's talking about that.
He's 33. Yes, he can.
I thought 35.
No, it's 25.
25. You know what? Who gives a shit? Such a funny age, by the way.
Yeah.
To be like, you're not responsible enough to rent a car. Like a 20. That just proves for me personally, don't speak to anyone under 23 for the most part. Mm-hmm. And because especially romantically, I had nothing going on with those people. And I'm sorry that it worked out like that. But such a funny thing for like Enterprise Rent-A-Car to be like, we don't trust 23-year-olds either.
Well, never mind that. But also, if we do trust you, we're going to charge you double.
Is that what happens?
They charge you like an insane amount.
So they let you do it, but they charge you a crazy amount? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't think they even let you do it.
Yeah.
Damn,
it's so stupid. Honestly, fucking date them. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
Who cares at that point?
And just know that if you break up and it's bad, she could say whatever she wants. Ruin your life. Dude, just know that Lee was right, by the way.
Just know that if you break up, you probably are going to jail.
You're going to jail, bud. But if you don't break up, you could live happily ever after.
Oh my God, you guys are getting married and have a bunch of kids. Oh my God.
Dude, yeah, man. It's just gonna happen. You gotta figure out when somebody isn't capable of making their own decisions.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're 33 doesn't mean that you know it all anyway.
When I was 15, I had a 21-year-old girlfriend.
That's gross.
Yeah. Is it? Because I was having a great time for most of it.
Yeah.
Until you learn that she's cheating on you all the time.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, I guess in retrospect, it's less fun. But when I was in it,
yeah,
and she almost stood me up for prom, it wasn't, I was like having a good time.
Ish.
When I didn't see her for 8 months at a time, I was having kind of a cool time. But sometimes we made out at the beach. So.
How many sand fleas did you get bit by?
I don't listen.
All right.
Here's what I want to say. Uh-huh. Making out outside at the beach in Connecticut is an insane tactic to do.
Yeah.
So we did not do that. We made out in a car. Helm, loum.
Great. I'm glad that.
So date whoever you want.
Date them.
You ever date older guy?
Yeah.
I've obviously dated older women.
Yeah. I've dated people older.
30 years older?
No, like 15 years older, 12 years older.
Yeah.
20 years older.
So many.
42 years old. No, I'm just kidding.
Doing a lot to the.
No, I've dated like, there was like, sometimes there was like 5 years. Sometimes there were 3 years.
Yeah.
But I think the oldest was, 15, I'd say. Because I only exclusively dated
there are
older men
more-
for a long time.
There are more conversations that I feel like we would have on a Patreon version of this podcast.
Okay.
Because I want to tell stories, but I
Yeah.
don't know if the stories are for everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a story in your head and you're like, is that in everybody's story?
Uh-huh.
Or is that just a memory that you have?
Yeah. Yeah. I hooked up with a much older cop. I don't know how old he was, but I was very young.
I thought you were ACAB the whole time.
No. No. And we hooked up in his police car.
Whoa, you got boop whooped?
Boop, booped.
Boop whooped?
Next question I
Canceled,
have.
by the way.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Not super progressive to hook up with a cop.
Why?
There
This
are
was before
reasons.
ACAB, though. This was before.
ACAB has existed for a long time.
Yeah, but this is before. Anyway.
Fuck the police was definitely.
Fuck the police.
Did you not hear that song right?
'Em. Oh, yeah. Yeah. NWA.
Yeah. Stop thinking of
Never
other
mind.
stories.
Okay, I'm sorry. This person says, sorry, this is a long one.
Okay. Is this Reddit or is this our people?
This is our people.
Roger?
The context.
Did you already do the Reddit one? Or was that?
Yeah, that was the Reddit one.
Oh.
23-year-old male. Or 20-year-old female, 33-year-old male.
Where's the other guy come in?
What are you talking about, the
You
other
said
guy?
46-year-old male, 20-year-old female,
No.
23-year-old male.
No, I didn't.
Too big of a team.
No. Do you listen to anything I say?
I do listen to some of the things you say.
Thank you.
The things that I do listen to, I listen to intently. And the things that I don't listen to don't stand a chance.
Yes, like this conversation on this podcast.
And this is the Reddit one, or this is
our people? I hate you. I hate what you're doing right now. My boyfriend of almost 1 year is incredibly sleepy.
Break
the
up.
sleepiest guy I've ever met. He's also extremely sweet and the best guy I've ever dated.
Oh.
And when he's awake and present, he's wonderful. We have amazing communication and are super compatible everywhere else.
However,
But it takes him forever to get there after waking up, or if he's stressed, he doesn't get there at all and
Damn.
sleeps through the entire days.
damn.
He's generally healthy and gets lots of sleep. Clearly, he's sleepy. We can't figure out why he's so tired all the time. He does have a sleep test scheduled for later this month to see if there's a medical reason he's not well rested.
Doctor's like, says here he loves it.
The current issue. Last night I hosted an AEW PPV. Pay-per-view for those of you that don't know. With
And
several people
you know,
over.
because you're a loser. Loser. Wrestling loser.
Just cruising.
Oh boy, I'm in a kind
And-
of a saucy mood.
And he was there, but might as well not have been there. He didn't react to any of the big moves or storylines, and he left early. I asked him about it, and he said he just hit a wall and apologized, citing he's also stressed about this week about work.
Sounds like this is just your average everyday millennial Gen Z with a job, hustle culture, can't stop, won't stop.
But I still felt very sad that he didn't seem to care about the event at all. This sort of thing happens often, enough for me to question if I'm the right person for him. It's a sore spot since at the start of our relationship he slept through 2 dates and we had scheduled. It hits me pretty hard, and I spend a lot of the time crying because sometimes I feel like he doesn't care about me enough to rally.
Aw.
Do you have any advice on not taking these types of things personally and accepting that if certain conditions aren't met, then my sleepy boy is going to be sleepy?
Dude, so first of all, almost fell asleep by the end of that.
Yeah.
So that's something that listen, here's all of the things that I think. One, you want something out of a relationship and you want the person to be there, and even if they're there, they have to be there. Right. So it's totally okay for that to be important to you, and for you to talk about how important that is to you with this other person who's sleepy bo peepee all the time.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say I've been sleepy in the past. And then I started doing cocaine.
No,
I would never. I have never, and I would never. Sorry for not being fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're overtired and you don't have the balance in your life that is required to like have energy at certain times, if you don't have any reserves because of the way that your daytime life is, or your sleeping pattern or body chemistry or whatever, it's tough to. It's not as easy as saying, you know what, I'm going to rally for this person. Physically, it's just not that easy. Mm-hmm. But that means that you have to work towards, if you know it's a problem, which you do, you got to work towards figuring out a solution, figuring out why it's like that, right. Why it seems like a abnormal amount of being sleepy, bo peepee boy. Mm-hmm. And you have to figure out if there are steps that you could take to right the ship. So don't break up with him unless he's saying, I'll figure it out, and is not really making an attempt to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. But don't break up if he's not really making the attempt?
I'm saying don't break up unless you're like, this is a problem for me, mm-hmm. and he like refuses to figure it out.
Yeah. It could be something that's a bit more deep than you even realize, or even that he's letting on. Yes, you say you have good communication, right?
How would you even know?
Especially when you're sleeping all the time. I think the thing that sucks is him sleeping through 2 dates when you guys first started dating. That sucks.
Yeah.
That would have been a huge red flag for me. And after the second time, for me personally, I would have been done.
I fell asleep while some girl was giving me HJ once.
Is that boring?
And that's on God.
No cap. How did that make that person feel?
Couldn't tell you. You have something on your tooth. No,
I like it there. I like it there.
No, you don't. It's off. You're welcome. I would never let you go through the day with something on your tooth.
I appreciate that because I'm also that friend.
That friend. My buddy. Me and my buddy on this podcast.
Pal. Me and my pal.
Me and my dog.
Where my dog's at. Where my dog. So he might have depression. And you may not know that because he might be embarrassed about it to even talk to you about it.
He is a man after all.
I think that a sleep test is a good idea, but when people are sleeping like that, especially if a whole day goes by, like that's alarming, and that's a mental health thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are depressed do sleep a lot, and they are always tired because it helps them get away from whatever reality they actually have to deal with. So, maybe it's a deeper question than just maybe it's more doctor's appointments than just a sleep test.
Or maybe the whole thing is he is made exhausted by his job.
Maybe
have him quit his job and start OnlyFans together.
No, I think that's terrible advice.
Why?
Quit his job and start an OnlyFans?
So
first of all, you have to get approved.
You're out of touch with the current generation. Sorry. What are you, twice removed? So what?
Wow, that's so rude. Twice removed?
I'm getting him in this week because you were so upset last week and I wasn't really allowed to say anything. Or I was too nervous to say anything. I'm just kidding around. I just thought it was a funny
Uncle
suggestion.
Vincent called me or texted me after he had listened to last week's episode and was like, I'm getting the war bus ready.
Why?
Because of what we talked about last week.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I think that if you really care about this person and you really want to try to make this work, and if it's worth it to you to try and make it work,
Yeah.
even through his sleepiness, then maybe after this sleep study, maybe it's him going to a therapist or, trying to figure out what it is that maybe mentally is making him just exhausted. And it could be like a sleep apnea thing and just him not sleeping well or getting enough fucking air.
He might not be getting
He might not be
he might not
breathing.
be getting enough air.
Yeah, he not-
Do you
might not be
notice
breathing.
him when you're close exhaling twice as much as he's inhaling? Because that might result in sleepy. He might have caught a case of sleepy.
Not enough air to sleep.
Does he have a dog?
Air.
No air. Can't breathe without air.
Does he have a cat fucking with him at night?
Does the cat jump on his stomach and all the air comes out like a cartoon?
Yes. I do have to cut this
Cut
short because I have a doctor's appointment.
Fine,
It's down
go.
the street.
I think I agree with the whole audience when we say that we've had enough of you this week and we can't wait to see you next week. But when we started this, we haven't spent a lot of time together recently, and now we have. We spent 25 minutes, so fuck it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend some more time together today.
You wanna make out?
Still early. Yes, I'd love to.
Eat your heart out.
Speaking of
in your
making out,
dreams.
Patreon.com is a virtual tipping and rewards website
That
where
is
you give us
100%
a little bit
true.
of your hard-earned cash, and we give our $10 group a shout out.
Yes.
And that goes a little something like this. Mr. Howard, Jay the Fifth, Ryan Cruteau, Cole Rusty, Joseph Capricusio, Shannon Haynes, Raja Knows, Luis and Odette, Lauren Chauncey, Paul Gilliam, Derek Helling, Steve Diergo, Chris McCarthy, Trevor the Werefishy, Happy Birthday Starlight, JJ McToots, Rachel Last Name, Connie Tryon, Ankles Spud Noggin, Antero Baez, Frankie Matos Music, Johnny Rosito Handcrafted Neckwear, Admammed, Emily Pageant. Oh, I like that. Caleb Perkins, Giant Tom Hanks, Gavin Welsh, Someone Tell Aaron, Jackie Hammond, Paige, but more crisp. Guy with a haircut. Chris Johnson, Anna Valles, Benjamin Putz, Beth Bush, Christina Camille, Josh Cadote, Michael Johnson, Kayla Johnston, Jules Run, Grant Levisure, Chad Clark, The Wherewithal. Katie Taylor, Joe Van, Milky Beans, Jess Enright, Lillian Carrillo, Barrington Lloyd Lovett, Ben Fuchs, Theodoros Carambelas, Danny Sinclair, Jacob D. Bradford, Justine Beebestein, Just Josh, Sergeant Sparty, Ed Birch, Helen Ford, Illuminos, Superfloss, It's Tatana Day, Danielle Di Verona, Da Verona, D.A. I may have been mispronouncing that forever. Dev Rabaru.
Which one?
Danielle?
Devrona?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's Devrona, but I've been saying Devrona. Jesse Stillwell, Rob Dever, Don Buer, Louis Hernandez, Alexander Lagowski, Felicia Shambari, Barry, and Matthew J. Palka. You guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
I also hope you enjoyed it.
Talk to you next week.